got some Miami Heat trade rumors to break down on today's show. I am Nic Rohloff. This is the Heat Report by Chat Sports. They are revolving Terry Rozier and then Anfernee Simons. Could he be someone the Heat go after in this upcoming offseason? Brett Siegel linked him to Miami. He also was the person who started the Terry Rozier rumor. Siegel saying that moving on from Terry Rozier will be one of the Heat's main goals of the offseason. And that should come as no surprise to anyone because we've seen how this season has played out for Miami. Of course, this is the top priority or one of the top priorities for the Heat. Sure, they might be willing and able to take it into next season knowing that he does have an expiring contract, but why would you not try to move off of him? He is set to make over $25 million next season, and he is not providing you with anything right now, so what makes you think he will provide you with winning basketball next season? Probably not very high, right? All right, before we get more into Terry Rozier, make sure you are helping us out by sharing today's video. Spread the word of the Heat Report, whether it's a friend, family member, coworker, or if you just want to post it on social media. I heard someone in the live chat of our watch party the other day said that we need more publicity. Well, you guys can help that by sharing the video. And if you tag me on Twitter or /X at Nic_Rohloff, I'll give you a retweet. All right, as we look at what Terry Rozier has done over his Heat career, well, it has not been good, right? He got traded last year before the deadline, played the final 31 games for the Heat, and then this season he's played in 60 games. Last year was fine. Even though we got off to a rough start in the first 10 games, he finished the 31-game stretch, averaging nearly 17 points a game, shooting 37% from three. He looked like someone that was going to be in Miami for the remainder of his contract and playing well. But this season, a complete fall off from not only the field, shooting 3% worse, but the beyond the arc, shooting 8% worse. It's just truly remarkable how he has struggled this year, averaging 5 less points a game as well. The fall off is just absolutely crazy. And I'm not acting like Terry Rozier was some all-star level player and now he's just a below average player. No, this went from a serviceable rotation guard to someone that cannot play. Like, when he steps onto the court, it's just instant disaster for the Miami Heat. It really, really is. It's sad to see, not just because the Heat wanted more out of Rozier, but it's just sad to see anyone's career just go from here to here in an instant. But when you talk about his contract, where that's where the thing here goes next in the conversation, that he's over $25+ million this year. It's 26.6 to be exact. He will become an unrestricted free agent the following offseason. So the Heat could do two things here. They can try to move him this offseason, or they can wait till the deadline and use his salary as an expiring contract, or they can just let him play out this next season, whether hope he gets better and becomes a rotation player again next year like they did with Duncan Robinson a couple of years ago, or maybe they just let it ride out, don't play him, and it's $26.6 million coming off the books for the 2026 NBA offseason. But I want you to predict it for me. This upcoming offseason, will the Heat trade Terry Rozier? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Type T for trade, K for keep. It says pinned comments. You can hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll down, let it play, and answer the question, will the Heat trade Rozier this upcoming offseason? To me, there are two outcomes that are the most likely here. One, if they trade Rozier, and these outcomes are if they trade, one, you have to attach picks to him because he doesn't have any trade value. Sure, yeah, he's an expiring contract, but he does not have trade value right now. So if you wanted to move off of Terry Rozier, you would have to attach picks to him. Or you could use that 1 year, $26.6 million contract to use his salary in a big trade, whether it's for a big guard like a Trae Young or like a Kevin Durant, where you need that $26.6 million to equal the Kevin Durant / whatever X player you're trading for salary. That's the two ways that I see Terry Rozier getting traded. But if I am going to be blatantly honest with all of you, I am not attaching a pick to Terry Rozier. I might be one of the leaders in the Terry Rozier hate fan club. Seriously, because I have just always said he stunk since the start of this year. But I am not attaching one of the 3 tradable first-round picks. The Heat don't really have any second-round picks they can trade, so it would have to be a first-rounder. Not doing it. So to me, I would rather just let Rozier sit on the bench and ride out this last year than attach a pick that just get rid of him. So it's either getting traded for a big-time player or someone of equal salary, or he's riding the bench, in my opinion. But could that potential player be Anfernee Simons? Because there is an NBA trade rumor that linked the Heat to the Blazers guard as a potential trade option. This actually also coming from Brett Siegel, who said the young guard is the main trade asset to keep an eye on in Portland. There has been plenty of chatter linking Simons to the Orlando Magic since he is from Florida and attended IMG Academy, which is south of the Tampa area. Another team discussed as a potential landing spot for Simons is the Miami Heat, sources said. And we're going to look at Simons as a player and what it would cost at a trade if Miami should do it. But right off the bat, I got mixed feelings on Anfernee Simons and a potential trade. One, because you'd have to deal with the Portland Trailblazers and Joe Cronin in the offseason once again, and I don't really see that being something that comes to fruition. But two, I'm unsure and uneasy about Simons being a good fit for the Miami Heat. I'll explain more in just a bit. But we are sponsored by Prize Picks. I play Prize Picks every single day. It's the easiest daily fantasy sports play. All you do is pick more or less on 2 or more player stat projections, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash. And with the basketball season winding down, get in on the action while we get to the postseason. You can also combine and mix and match player projections from different sports, whether it's college basketball, professional basketball, baseball's back, hockey, esports, and much more. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. You can play in so many different ways, daily and season-long as well. I want to take a look back at my season-long entry before the season. It's not looking good. Adebayo is going to get more than 9.9 rebounds, assuming he stays at 10. And Jalen Brunson got more than 6.8 assists per game, but Zachary Sachet, the number 1 pick, did end up scoring more than I anticipated, but we'll see where it ultimately ends up going in the final week and a half of the season. But either way, join me and the millions of others on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, let's get back to Simons now, because this past season, he is averaging a solid 19 points per game. Played in 69 games, isn't much of a playmaker. He is a scoring combo guard, so it's not like this is a point guard, folks. It's just not. He is shooting 42.9% from the field, 36.6% from beyond the arc. He can score the ball. I'll give him credit on that, Mark. But I don't think he's that efficient of a scorer in terms of volume or actually his shooting splits. The splits are average at best, but to me, in order for him to get his stats, the volume is the part that concerns me, because he gets up a lot of shots on a poor Trailblazers team. And also another issue to me is his contract. He's making $27.6 million in the 25-26 season. So technically, Rozier's contract is very similar to that if you want to trade Terry for Simons. But he is an unrestricted free agent in 26-27. So you'd have to pay him if you traded for him, assuming that you'd want to keep him around long term. This contract completely lines up with Terry Rozier. So to me, the only way that I would be fine with Simons coming to Miami is if you traded Terry Rozier and maybe some assets to get Simons. And he would fill that same role that you anticipated Rozier filling in the backcourt with Tyler Hero as a on-ball creator and off-ball scorer as well. But I'm unsure if that would even translate to winning for the Miami Heat. I'm very skeptical of that. And I'll round out the conversation, including a trade idea here in just a second. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because we will have you covered on everything Miami Heat at the end of the season, as well in the offseason revolving trade rumors, draft rumors, as well as free agency. So subscribe today. Did want to showcase the Anfernee Simons shot chart to the people at home here. And I found this one courtesy of 3 Steps Basket, which displayed his shooting percentage at almost every spot on the court. And if you look at the bottom of that photo there, the dark blue means that's his best spots, as well as the shooting percentage. You'll be able to see that. But the small bubble to the big bubble is in terms of volume. So it tells you where he's getting shots. So 53% at the restricted area, that's where he gets the most of his shots. The next biggest bubbles you see are at the three-point arc on the left wing, top of the key, and right wing, where he's shooting just about average 35%, 34%, 38%. He is pretty solid in the deep mid-range at the free throw line, 61%, but he just doesn't shoot there that often. But you see, he likes to get to the rim, and he likes to shoot from beyond the arc. That modern-day NBA guard that we've seen Tyler Hero implement more and more this season rather than what he's been doing over the past couple of years. But when you think of what it would take for the Heat to acquire Terry Rozier in a potential trade, this is what I think the trade idea would look like. I think they could acquire Anfernee Simons potentially for a first-round pick, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Terry Rozier. The salary lines up perfectly with Rozier and Jaquez, and then you have to also add a sweetener because Jaquez has declined this year, Rozier is a negative asset, and I think one first-round pick is probably doing this trade because you do have to take into consideration Simons is not the most efficient guard, and he is under contract for just one more season. I think one of your future first-round picks, 2030 to be exact, put a top 10 protection on that just in case you stink back in the future, and maybe that could get a Simons trade done. So let me know your thoughts. Would you do this trade? Before I give you my thoughts, this is what I think it would take to get Anfernee Simons in this upcoming offseason. Would you do it? Type A for accept or type D for decline. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I, even though it's my trade idea, am not doing that Anfernee Simons. To me, there is just no benefit for the Heat to trade a future first-round pick, to trade Jaime Jaquez Jr., although I don't think he's very good, for a guard who is an inefficient scorer because his volume of his shots just goes up. Because if he's scoring 19 points on 18 shots, is that impressive? No, it's not. And you have to pay him. What is he going to get paid? $30 million a year? Is he worth that? Is he fit with the Heat? I don't think that's the case, which is why I'm not trading for Anfernee Simons. He doesn't fit. I think if the Heat are looking to trade for a guard, it's either got to be a just superstar, can't-miss talent, or a guard that fits better with Tyler Hero, unless you're moving off of Tyler Hero, which for Anfernee Simons, you are not doing that. I think Hero is better than Anfernee Simons. I don't think that's any question if we're going to be honest. Simons is a nice young player that can score, but I don't think he is a person who translates to winning. Don't think he fits with Miami, and I don't think it's worth the price tag that it would ultimately cost you to acquire him. So for that reason, I'm out, as the Sharks say on Shark Tank. All right, that'll do it for this episode of the Heat Report. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join us for the last 8 games of the season as we are going live for every game. We'll have videos out in between as well as videos all off-season long. So subscribe and join the channel today.